This is an impossible question, but is there a quarterback next year that you can see having a jump the way that Burrow did?
Well, I'm glad you asked because do you know what Joe Burrow QBR was last year? Or what he ranked in the country number-wise?
Oh, no shot. No, I don't know.
70th. Okay, after last season. So what I did is I went and looked at the 70th rated quarterback. And I forget who that is now off the top of my head, but he's a senior, okay?
Okay.
So the 69th rated quarterback was Dorian Thompson-Robinson from UCLA.
Interesting.
Who I actually really like. So I'm going to go with him.
Okay.
And last year, 2,700 yards, 21 touchdowns, 12 picks, to put that in perspective. True sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
But what I liked about UCLA is they went 3-3 down the stretch. And while that's not great, that is a big improvement from what they've been doing. They started off 1-5 with losses to San Diego State and Cincinnati. I mean, it's actually a pretty good team, but they starting to figure things out. And even in those last 3 that they lost to USC and Cal and I believe Utah, who are 3 good teams, they were more competitive and they were in these games. So they're starting to figure things out a little bit there with Chip Kelly. And then you look at the non-conference slate this year, it's much more navigable than the Oklahoma game last year. And so New Mexico State, Hawaii, San Diego State. And then you get into Pac-12 play. And obviously the Pac-12, Stanford just had like 20 players enter the portal. And Washington State's going to have a new coach. What the heck will USC be? You know?
We never know.
So I think it's possibly there for the taking, and I think he can maybe take the next step.
Okay. I like that. I'm going to answer my own question. I'm going to answer my own question with a question.
Okay.
And it's going to point us into your favorite topic, the transfer portal.
Love it.
And I see that clock counting down on us, but I was also told that we have a few extra minutes to play with today, so I'm going to assume that's still the case. And if it's not, people can barge in here and kick us out. Here's the question. Where does De'Aaron King end up? Because if King finds a situation like the one that found Burrow, and by that I mean a loaded wide receiver room and Joe Brady, I think King is a very real candidate to take the college football world by storm next year. And I think one such possibility, and everyone is going to laugh, and you are going to laugh as well.
Say it.
But hear me out. I think one such possibility for De'Aaron King that makes a ton of sense in the vein of the conversation that we're having right now is Arkansas. Arkansas went 2-1,000 and they have a new coach and they suck, and why would he ever go there? Got it. Check. King went from 3-star prospect that no one knew anything about to superstar in 2018 with Kendall Briles running the offense at Houston. Mm-hmm. Same Kendall Briles, who's now running the offense at Arkansas.
Correct.
King went for 3,000 yards, 36 touchdowns. He just threw 6 interceptions. He ran for nearly 700 yards and 14 touchdowns at Houston with Briles running the offense. So Briles being the Brady to King's Burrow, the next question is, okay, then who's catching the passes? Because the other thing with Burrow and LSU was that wide receiver room at the end of the day. We're like, holy shit, that was a great room. Cool. Well, Arkansas, sneaky loaded at wide receiver. And I mean that sincerely. Like, quarterback was an issue.
Educate me.
I will. The LSU wide receiver room, it wasn't like we were sitting here a year ago and everybody was like, oh, well, Justin Jefferson is great, and Jamar Chase is going to win the Biletnikoff, and Terrace Marshall, oh, yeah, he's that guy that was awesome and then broke his leg. I wonder if he'll ever be good again. Like,
Justin Jefferson was a 2-star recruit.
Yeah. There was no fanfare around that wide. It was just like all of a sudden people were like, oh, my God, they're actually awesome.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, Traylon Burks and Trey Knox, couple of elite recruits, not 5-star, that would be embellishing. 4-star wide receivers. They'll play the role of Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Okay? Mike Woods can play the role of Terrace Marshall, that complimentary 3.
Okay.
All right? Hayden Henry, brother of Hunter, can fill the role of Thad Moss, son of Randy. All right? And then, not to mention Rakeem Boyd keeping teams honest in much the same way as Clyde Edwards-Helaire did at LSU. I think that group of players can absolutely replicate in an Kendall Briles' offense, what you saw from LSU this year in a Joe Brady offense. And for that reason, and Kendall Briles being a massive part of that reason, I think that De'Aaron King at Arkansas, and look, I'm not suggesting that Joe Burrow and De'Aaron King are the same player talent-wise.
Right.
Burrow's a generational talent. I can't say that enough. He might be the best college quarterback at this point, I think he is the best college quarterback we've ever seen with respect to Tebow and whoever else. Yeah, Vince Young. I don't care. Insert guy here. Cam. Yep. I think Burrow's the best college quarterback we've ever seen. I'm not saying that De'Aaron King can be that. What I'm saying is that King could match that holy crap, he came out of nowhere feel that we had with Burrow this year if he's in the right season with the right cast. And while I know I'll get killed for it, with respect to LSU, Oregon, and Miami, I genuinely think that Arkansas represents that. I also think that Oklahoma is a better spot for him than Arkansas. I'll just be honest about it. That's assuming he beat out Rattler, which I don't know if that's necessarily a lock. I have no idea. Like, I think Rattler's going to be awesome. I'm not sure. I would just defer to Lincoln Riley on that if he thought he had a better option. But then it goes back to the thing that we've talked about. I think Riley's taking a huge risk in bringing in De'Aaron King. I think Rattler probably leaves, and I think that it significantly damages Riley's credibility in the living room of a high school quarterback moving forward. I know for a fact that every rival school recruiting against him is going to use that against him for every quarterback moving forward.
They probably already are, too.
And he still may do it.
Yeah.
He still may do it. If either A, he thinks that Rattler will stick around, if he can get in Rattler's ear and be like, look, dude, you're just a freshman. One more, redshirted this year, redshirt freshman next year, you back up, you're one play away, and then you're a redshirt sophomore, you take over. You just need one more year. If he can convince Rattler of that and bring in King, then great. K can eat it too. Or B, if he just doesn't give a damn and he thinks that King is the thing that gets Oklahoma past that semifinal barricade they keep running into every year, then I don't know that he cares at all at that point what that means for the future of his ability to recruit quarterbacks, because shit, he's already shown that he could just go get a transfer every year. So though I
kind of hope he keeps doing that.
He might. I don't know. But so I know I just listed two teams for which I have an obvious bias, but I think that sincerely, I think that those are legitimately the best two landing spots for De'Aaron King.
You're not wrong.
I know. I rarely am.
And you actually brought this to my attention, but the coaches broadcast of the national championship game featured Gary Patterson and Mike Gundy.
Yeah.
And Patterson was like, "Oh yeah, Mike, remind me to tell you at the break who's in the portal. Guess where he's going?" And Gundy was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, I'll tell you at the break."
Yeah.
And I think everyone assumed he was talking about King because he actually said it before the news broke, before King tweeted about it. So if he knows that before the news is breaking, it feels like he probably knows where he's going too.
Yeah, I don't know who else he would have been talking about in that situation.
Right. Yeah.
So.
And then also, the whole thing with King was weird, right? When it happened.
Yeah, it was super weird.
Well, Holgorsen tried to take, it was my idea. Remember that? He was like, it was my idea.
Yeah.
I came to him about it. He was all about it. He's not going anywhere. And then King was like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. But none of us really believed him. And then he tweets it out in the middle of the national championship game. Everyone begins losing their mind.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think your reaction, or what do you think Dana Holgorsen's reaction would be?
You think he'd be sad.
Right. And would you tweet if you were him?
Nah, I'd be real quiet.
Yeah. He tweeted LFG.
It's an acronym.
It is. For Let's Effing Go.
Let's Effing Go.
What?
Maybe he was just really excited to be able to play his kid at quarterback next year.
He was getting ratioed pretty hard by the Houston fans. They're none too pleased.
I would imagine. I think that the way the De'Aaron King thing played out, it's a couple of things. First of all, no coach is ever going to try to tank for Tua ever again, the way that Holgorsen basically allegedly tried to do with Houston this year.
Yeah.
Hey, we're 1-3, everybody redshirt, we'll be better next year. That backfired. Nobody will ever try that again. So there's that. But I do wonder if the De'Aaron King thing won't become a sort of blueprint for group of 5 quarterbacks that are like, hey, maybe I'll just take a red shirt my senior year and wait for Oklahoma or LSU or somebody to come get me.
Ball out your first couple years and then use that to springboard into a Power 5 league and get on some and help your draft stock and go win a conference title and go to the playoff. Yeah.
I thought Derek King to LSU, especially with the timing in the tweet, made a lot of sense. But with Joe Brady going to Carolina now, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Because if you're him, you're taking a big chance now.